Hello, this is to practice cloning a repository from GitHub to your workspace. So here I have a new, basically Eclipse workspace that I'm calling CSC 113 Git Test. So here I'm going to open up the Eclipse workspace and go through the steps of how to clone a workspace from GitHub into Eclipse for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the window menu, go to Show View, and go down to Other. This will bring up a new Show View window. Here what you will do is you will go to the Git folder, you will expand that, and then go down to Git Repositories. Click there and now submit OK. Next, it will have a step, since this workspace has no repositories part of it, you will have the option to clone one. Now, if you already have a Git repository in here, it won't show these options, which what we'll want to do is clone a repository if we already have ours up in GitHub. But if you want to clone it from a different spot, there is the way, or to clone it, there is an icon up here which is the same thing, the clone a Git repository, and add that clone to the view. So to do that, we will go into GitHub. So I will go to github.com and log into my account, which since I'm already logged in, it shows up. And the repository I'm interested in is my Assistant Jack one, for example. So clicking on the Assistant Jack repository brings me up to here. Here I can use the GitHub address, which is in this field. So I'll use the Copy to Clipboard feature. Click that, and now it's copied to my clipboard, which allows me to go to GitHub, or go back to Eclipse and clone the repository. So here I'm going to click Clone the GitHub repository. Because it was filled into my shores, it will fill in all my information here. This might just be because it was filled in. However, you just paste that address into here and it will go through and fill everything out. I already had my password saved, so it pre-populated that. So that the source repository is now populated. I simply click Next, and while it's going through looking for branches, I simply get the master branch, hit Next. The directory that I wanted to clone into, destination, which is listed here. Typically you will probably want this to go in directly into your workspace, so it really depends on what you want. So here I'm going to actually have it go out into my testing workspace, since I like to keep all my work together. So CS 113 Git Test workspace. So here, and I will put it into this Assistant Jack location. So my workspace name, Git Test, will also be my place for my repository. So I'll click Save, and now you'll notice that it now points to my workspace, Assistant Jack. I can clone everything else, so leave everything else as the defaults, and then you click Finish, and it will run. And now my Assistant Jack will now be here. And I can see all the different parts of this, the working directory, and everything like that. So expanding out my Eclipse view, that will allow me at least to get into my repository. Here I should be able to now import my projects. So if I hit import projects, import existing Eclipse projects. So by making sure that my class path and project file are in my repository, I'm now able to use that clone and then import into my Eclipse project. So by clicking Next here, after seeing everything, I click Next. It will show me that the project I have in there, which is Assistant Jack, was good. I'll then hit Finish, and now my project should now be imported. So if I go back to the project view, this is my project. Some reason it's not showing it nicely, so I simply go back to here and go to Java View, the Java perspective. Maybe it's Java project view. Click that. Go here, and I don't know why. Oh, let me just close this and open that guy. So that should be my class, and here's all the code for it, which should be here. And then all my stuff is now able to be worked on, and all my code is there. So that's pretty much it. Again, the best perspective is Java. I forgot. So this perspective view is we want to use is Java, as that puts our projects over here and everything else that we're used to with Eclipse. And to get to your perspective, you can simply go to perspective, opens perspective, and then choose the appropriate one, which for us will be Java. The Git one, I believe, will just be the Git repository one. Yeah, the repository one, and not really what we're looking for, except for some code that it puts up here. So Java is the correct one that we want to work in typically when we're coding up our projects. Thank you, and that should be it for how we clone a project from GitHub back into our workspace and on our computer. And remember, cloning should only happen once, or not once, many times. Your Git initialize, when you create the repository, should only happen once, and then you simply clone that onto every computer that you use. Thank you.